Hello, I'm Alex Hui. Most of you have probably heard of the term RICE for treating acute soft tissue injuries such as a knee sprain or an ankle sprain. However, nowadays many experts are questioning whether the eye or the ice is really helping the recovery, or does it actually hinder it? So in this video, I would like to talk about this confusing topic from a Chinese medicine perspective. But before I talk about my perspective, let me first introduce RICE for those who are not too familiar. The RICE method was first introduced by Dr. Gabe Merkin in 1978, and it has since then become the standard for treating acute soft tissue injuries. So RICE stands for rest, ice, compression, and elevation. Rest. As soon as you have an injury, stop the activity and rest as much as possible. Avoid putting weight on the area for the first 24 to 48 hours. Ice. Apply ice in the area of injury during the first 48 hours to reduce pain. Compression. Wrap the injured area with an elastic medical bandage to reduce swelling. Elevation. Raise the injured body part above the level of your heart to minimize bleeding. So that is the famous RICE method. However, after nearly 40 years of introducing RICE, Dr. Merkin in 2015 published an article saying that ice may actually delay recovery instead of helping it. So why is that? Applying ice causes the blood vessels near the injury to constrict and shut off the blood flow that brings in the healing cells of inflammation. And inflammation is a body's natural way of healing. Therefore, putting ice can inhibit the inflammatory response, thus delaying recovery. If we apply ice on the injured area, we are limiting the blood supply, interfering with the body's natural healing process. In addition, the ice reduces the strength, speed, endurance, and coordination in the injured area. This actually corresponds to the Chinese medicine theory. In Chinese medicine, we say that cold has properties such as contraction and obstruction, and the coldness can lead to the disruption of the normal flow of qi and blood inside our body, therefore leading to a slower recovery time and often stiffness and tightness in our joints. And also in Chinese medicine, we say that the qi and blood circulation in our body is like the air and water in nature. It has to keep flowing smoothly in order to be clean. Imagine a pond or swimming pool where the water is stagnant. Very soon it will become dirty and full of parasites and bacteria. And our body is the same. If stagnant blood is in our body, it will build up turbid substances that we don't want. So now I'm going to share with you my opinion on how to deal with acute soft tissue injuries. First of all, make sure there are no broken bones or no fractures. If it is a very serious injury or if the pain is out of normal, definitely go to see a doctor immediately. Next, rest but not completely. Some movements are beneficial to help to draw the blood flow to the area of injury to enhance healing and also to bring the range of motion back. But of course, we should move lightly. Moving too much will only make it worse. So we have to listen to our bodies. We should not be feeling unbearable pain. So for example, what I like to do if I sprain my ankle is to draw alphabets using my big toe. Start with really small letters, and if we can slowly increase the size of the letters. So does that mean that we should never use ice? Well, in my opinion, if we could afford using ice, that would be great. But ice is useful in terms of numbing and reducing the pain. So if it is too painful, then sure, we can use ice. But we have to make sure to use it within the first 6 hours of injury. And we do not apply it directly on the skin, but we could put that in a plastic bag, use towels, wrap it, and then apply it on the area of injury. And also, each time, don't use it for more than 10 minutes, and then remove it for 20 minutes, and we can repeat this process once or twice. So that is my opinion on to ice or not to ice. So hopefully that makes sense. And because using ice has been a standard for decades, so I understand it is hard to change the mindset right away, but standard does not always mean it is right, and we have to constantly ask ourselves, is that reasonable or not? Thanks for watching today. If you have any questions, leave in the comment section below. Stay healthy, and I will see you next time.